Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And yesterday we started our disenchanting series, if you want to call it that, where we took a look at what epic cards you can kind of safely disenchant going forward that are going to wild or duels that you may have been holding on to. And again, this guide is more for people who are on a budget that just can't hold on to everything, because believe me, I would love to recommend to everybody just keep every card so you can play every mode and do everything. But for some people, that's not a reality. And I like to provide these guides for those that are on that budget, that need that help. And again, this is also not for people that just don't play wild, don't play duels, and only play standard. You might as well just disenchant everything. But I hate to ever say that because, well, I love the other modes. So I like to give at least some advice on what stuff you can reliably, not need, that aren't likely to be meta. And there's also the disclaimer of you never know what legendary that may be completely useless right now could be amazing in the future, depending on what they make. You just never know. Stuff happens where all of a sudden free shaman's playable. Marabi might be insane one day. Okay, that probably will never happen, but you get my point, right? Like something can be better later. So take all of that, take all the risk you can with it, and we'll get into what legendaries I feel you should disenchant if you're more on the budget. And also, again, thank you guys for all the support. If you would be able to like the video, subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a ton. And we're on that road to 50K. It's a long one, but every little subscribe and like helps along the way. Anyways, the expansions that will be rotating, and this will be in early April. We don't know the official date yet, but it's typically the same time every year, is Ashes of Outland, Scholomance Academy, and Madness at the Darkmoon Faire. So we're going to be going through those. And starting off with Ashes of Outland, we have the first legendary that I will recommend that you don't need to hold on to is Archbore Mishven. It's the prime minion for Druid. It's like a 3/4 taunt that gives you 2 10-mana 9/9s, and you can either it could be one with Rush, one with Taunt. His basically never seen play. It's a shame. It's a really cool card. I love pretty much all the primes, but it just hasn't worked out. I can't see this being a wild player anytime soon. It just hasn't been a standard player at any point, really. So if you haven't got rid of it already, I would probably get rid of it if you need that dust. Another Druid legendary, the Ashes Druid legendary suck, by the way, is the Iselle Windsinger. This card was power crept immediately, the same expansion by Kael'thas. It was better there, and then you had Celestial Alignment, which made things better, and you have Anacondra, you have all these better cards, and even Wild you sell as, it's like a Dane kind of card. It's a cool card in like bad combo decks, and if you want to play those type of bad combo decks, hold on to it. I'll say it for that. If you want to do some Mimi bad stuff and get 1-mana spells, sure, but overall as a meta player in Wild, it doesn't really make the cut in any deck. Next we have the Priest Prime Reliquary of Souls. It's a 1-mana 1/3 death rattle, and it gives you like a 7-mana 6/8 lifesteal taunt that can't be targeted by anyone but you. Pretty cool card. I guess you could play it in like a death rattle quest priest. That could be kind of fun for you if you're really into that. But other than that, it's not really a meta player. And that deck, by the way, old quest priest, like Awaken the Makers or whatever it's called, not meta at all. It's like not good, but if you're into that deck, you'll probably want to hold on to it for that. Other than that, I would not hold on to it at all. And well, the prime train keeps going. We have Akama, the 3-mana 3/4 stealth prime for rogue that gives you I think it's a 5-mana 6/5 that is permanent stealth. Really bad card that I overrated, by the way. If you check out my old Ashes of Outland review, I thought this card was going to be good. Turns out the 3/4 stealth is okay, but the 6/5 sucks, so it's just not worth it. And yeah, the card's just not seen any play basically in standard or wild. It's just not good. So if you have it and you don't need it, just get rid of it. Even Odd Rogue doesn't even bother with this card, and it's odd cost. It's got to be good there, right? Next we have Lady Vash, the last prime minion on this list. This is the Shaman Prime. It's a 3-mana 4/3 spell damage +1, and when you draw this, you also have spell damage, and it draws 3 cards, spells out of your deck. They cost 3 less. It's just too slow. Now you have cards like Multicaster. You don't get the mana cheat, but it's just way more reliable. This was always kind of a discover option, not really a card you have a hard run, and probably not something you need to hold on to. I've never seen this see play in Wild, like at all. Just not a thing. Neutral legendary, we have 3 of them on the list. We have Meg Theradon, 4-mana 12/12, and it gives 1/3s. You kill them, clear the board, and you get a Meg Theradon, and it's a fringe card in standard and not existent in Wild unless you really want to, disrupt someone's res pool, I guess. But overall, probably definitely safe to disenchant. This card makes me laugh that it's on my list, is Maiev Shadow's Song. 4 mana 4/3, give a minion dormant for 2 turns. Last year, this time Ashes of Outland came out, I said this was auto-craft, auto-include, broken card, insanely good. Year later, I'm saying don't even bother to hold on to it. It's a piece of garbage, and yeah, I would not bother holding on to my Ev. My goodness, how times change. And the last one from Ashes is Alar, 5 mana 7/3, and it dies. It gets like a 0/3. They'll bring Alar back. It's just garbage. It's fragile. It dies to everything. It doesn't have taunt. It's just definitely not a good card, but amazing artwork and animation. It's a real shame it's not good. Next we have the Scholomance Academy cards, and I actually had listed this card, Ace Hunter Kreen, 3 mana 2/4, dual class Demon Hunter and Hunter card, gives your minions immune. It's probably good enough in like an odd DH or an aggressive Hunter, so disregard that. But if you're not into an aggressive DH or Hunter, then I guess get rid of it, but it's probably too good a card to put on this list, so why am I saying it? I have no idea, but I did it. We do things around here for no reason. That's how I roll. Anyways, next we have a Demon Hunter Legendary Star Student Stelina, 4 mana 4/3, and then Outcast card, you get to discard a card from your opponent's hand. Really bad, has to be outcast, and again, it's just like, it's not worth it at all. You don't even see play in standard outside of getting it from an Illidari Studies. This one pains me, but Sociologist of Malicia, the 7 mana 5/5 Soul Fragment Legendary for Demon Hunter and Warlock. I got rank 1 Legend playing this card. I love Soul Fragment decks, but they have never worked in Wild, and Sociologist she's honestly one of the weaker parts even of the standard variants. She got cut a lot of the time because she would just disrupt the skulls. So really cool card, beautiful card, close to my heart. But yeah, it's not going to be a Wild player, and honestly isn't even a duels player where Soul Fragments can be used in Warlock. You just don't bother with Sociologist for the most part. We have Shando Wildclaw. It's a Druid and Hunter card. I forgot it was a dual class card. I forgot it was really a card, to be honest. It's 3 mana 3/3. You can either like Keleseth your beast in deck or make a copy of one. Just not good, even in standard. Not good in Wild. Not worth your time. We have a Paladin Legendary Tura Leon, the tenured. This card is like a 3/10 with Rush, and it transforms in other minions. Stats to be a 3/3, giving it a good trade. Maybe if you're really into big Paladin, which probably wouldn't want to waste its time with this card because it's not impactful enough. Other than that, not very good. This one I will put an asterisk on, is a Mind Render Elusia. Since it's been changed, it is complete and utter hot garbage. There is a possibility though it could be reverted, so I would wait until they announce the reverts to Wild if things are getting buffed or unbuffed or whatever. I don't think they would do that to this card. I think that would be insane to do that to this card, but you never know. They reverted the Rogue quest, so they'll do anything, you know? So that's the asterisk on this one, so maybe wait on that. We have the Rogue Legendary Infiltrator Lillian. It's a 4 mana 4/2 stealth. When it dies, a 4/2 is summoned and attacks randomly. It's not good in standard. It ain't good in Wild. If it was odd cost, maybe, but it ain't odd cost, and well, it's not going to go into like a weapon rogue, Kingsbane rogue. Not going to happen. We have Headmaster Kel'Thuzad, neutral legendary, 5 mana 4/6 as spell burst. You summon a copy of cards that were killed by a spell. It's just, yeah, not really good in standard. I've never seen it see play in Wild, and would be shocked if that would ever happen. We have Vectus, 5 mana 4/4 that summons 2/1/1 whelps. Gain Death Rattle is the thing that have died. Even with Death Rattle decks being okay in Wild for the most part, this card does not slot in anywhere, and it doesn't even really slot in as standard Death Rattle decks. Just an underwhelming one, and really surprising for a card that was a 5 mana 6/6 with upside. Who would have thought that wouldn't be very good? And lastly, Master Alabaster, 7 mana 6/8. You get your opponent's cards that, you know, they drew, cost 1. Really cool card. You can do some fun stuff in Wild with like Cold Lights or Natural Eyes, but overall, not a meta player, but a fun meme card. So if you're into those memes, hold on to it. Cherish Keymaster. He's a pretty rad card. For Darkmoon Faire, we have Zai the Incredible, 5 mana 5/3 Demon Hunter card that gives you a copy of the left and rightmost copies of, or cards in your hand. You get 2 copies of cards. It's not bad. It's a value thing, but it's Wild. Why do you care? It's not a thing, even like odd DH. We have Kiri, Chosen of Elune, the Druid Legendary that adds a Solar Eclipse and Lunar Eclipse to your hand. You'd rather just run Solar Eclipse and Lunar Eclipse and not worry about playing a 4 mana 2/2 to get 2 more. It's just not worth your time. Plus, Oaken Summons is a card, so why would you ever mess with that for Kiri? We have Deck of Lunacy, which is another asterisk one. It's currently 4 mana. This one I think is very likely to be reverted to 2. do. However, even if it is, it's still hot garbage because the spell pool is way too wide in Standard or in Wild for this to be a consistent effect. It was good in Standard because you would consistently get 2 different 10-cost spells at the time. That's not a thing in Wild. But if you're into the memes and you like messing around with a ridiculous, stupid, fun card like Deck of Lunacy, definitely hold on to it. This is one, if you're really into those fun decks, keep it. It'll be a blast, but if you're looking more competitively or to, win games, Deck of Lunacy is not going to help you do that at all. We have Keyword and Ivory, 5-mana dual class card for Mage and Rogue, Spellburst. You get another dual class card. It's a value card, even in like Pocket Galaxy decks, it's too slow and not worth it, but it's a cool one. Sad to recommend it, but again, it sees no play. We have High Exarch Urel, which has been an odd card in Standard this year with no other pure Paladin support. However, even in Wild, where pure Paladin and like pure Libram Paladin have been decks, Urel doesn't really make the cut. Not really worth it for the most part. You rather run other cards. So unless you really, really like pure Paladin with suboptimal cards like High Exarch Urel, you probably want to disenchant it, but you might want to consider it if you're into the pure Paladin strat. We have Dark Inquisitor Zanish for Priest, like a 5-mana legendary that discounts corrupted cards. Corrupt Priest has never really been a thing in either format, and yeah, that's not the thing. And this thing was buffed even. It's still not really playable. We have Gahoon the Blood God, 8-mana 8/8 Priest legendary that draws 2 cards. You can spend health instead of mana on them. Again, it's too slow. The health total you take from it's too much. Way better card draw option, especially in Wild and Priest. Not worth holding onto. Grand Empress Shigzara for Rogue, where you it's like a 6-mana 5/7 that discovers a card from your deck and you draw all copies of it. It's good with like tickets and like, the bears, and it's bad. It's bad. It's not worth keeping. It's never really see play in Standard outside of, again, my friend Jiminator, who plays the worst Rogue decks again. This is also in his deck that he can't get Legend with. Yeah, I'm telling you that right now. We have Deck of Chaos. This spell was buffed from 6 to 5 mana. You think if it would break somewhere, it would break in Wild, and this card has not done a damn thing in any format. You definitely don't need to hold on to it. And then we have, lastly, Moon Fang, the 5-mana 6/3 beast neutral legendary. Just doesn't have a home anywhere. It's a decent little card, but where are you playing it? Even in Wild, maybe if they revert Guardian Animals and make it 7. By the way, I'd even say to disenchant that card because I think it's okay at 8, and I think it'll go to 7. So maybe Moon Fang slots in there, but you have like Witchwood Grizzly, better stuff. So yeah, those are the legendaries I feel you could safely disenchant going into rotation, which should be coming up anytime, and should be coming up in April, and I would expect an announcement, I don't know, in a couple weeks or so. So enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.